but also it's the learning that actually happens in the set, of how the set behave together, and how we want to be together. That's one of the fundamental questions that we ask right from the start when we set up an action learning set, is how do we want to be together? What are the attitudes and behaviours that we all need to demonstrate and believe and hold dear, so that we can do the best work together, so that we can sit together in our unknowing, right? And we can trust each other with our humility and our honesty and our vulnerability. And earlier, Louise, you were talking about that sense of belonging, and I think in an action learning set, you get that sense of belonging because you have those agreements of how we all want to be together. Whilst at the same time embracing diversity, embracing different cultures, embracing different backgrounds and different educational experiences. So there's a kind of beauty in the diversity, and then that gets enabled through the trust that's in the room.
I think that's definitely my experience as well as being a participant on the programme. Is the fact that I don't know these people. Some of them know each other because they've worked in similar teams, but I don't know them, and I have a very different career, different role, etc. So it was really remarkable just how quick we were able to create that safe space where that trust is. And we sort of leave our day jobs at the door, and we're very much there. I'm there as Louise, I'm not there as the dean of a campus, and they also leave their roles at the door. And I think that in itself is sort of quite disarming in a way. You sort of leave your professional hat on, if you will, at the door, and you just become that person in the room, and you become a person where you want to help the other person, and you also want to share your vulnerabilities and also the kind of work that you're doing and the challenges that you might have or obstacles that you need to overcome, with the mindset of, I want to be able to solve whatever problem it is you're working on. I think it'd be really helpful, because obviously you guys are absolute experts on action learning, is if you can maybe give some examples around the practicalities of how it actually works.
Yeah. So, yes, absolutely. When we developed the action learning question method, this was based on a project, a fellowship that I was given to look at how we could go to the roots of action learning and where it started originally and bring that into the modern and future setting. And I realised that to work with action learning in organisations, you needed to have some sort of system, and not a bureaucratic system, but a learning system to solve the world's problems. In practice, in an organisational setting, I worked out that there were kind of key stages that you needed to go through in action learning. First one is questioning, to work out what your question is, actually. So we do that literally with groups now, and they may individually work out a question and say, well, my challenge is, how do I create psychological safety in my team? And I'm going to work on that over the next few months, and you're going to help me as the learning set, inform my thinking. I'm going to try and do things. I'm going to go to the theory as well and apply that. And I'm going to come back and tell you how successful I've been or the difficulties I'm facing, and you're going to help me work my way through it. So that's a kind of, a team and sort of internal organisational type of question.